According to previews for The Bold and the Beautiful, Liam Spencer is recovering from a gunshot wound to his chest and the removal of a fictitious brain tumor. None of this makes sense, and he is recuperating at Bill Spencer's house. So why not give Liam a new personality to go along with it, making this scenario even more strange and soap operatic? Regardless of whether Grace Buckingham performed actual or experimental brain surgery, Liam was put under anesthesia following a recent procedure. Regardless of who he wakes up as, he is not in a fit state to be at home. Bill Spencer retakes leadership. Did Grace pretend to do cutting-edge surgery? Or did she really do it? In any case, she is as dubious as an ancient oak tree, and we believe that Liam's mental health may suffer as a result of her treatment of him. Unaware that there was nothing wrong with Liam in the first place, Bill thinks that his money can fix him. Although Grace acknowledged that Liam would stay unconscious for a while, she made careful to mention that she most likely saved Liam's life. How practical. Will Liam be a different man when he wakes up? When Steffy Forrester and Hope Logan learned about Liam, they lost it in the July 17th episode. Will he still be the man they recall as their girl's father? Or will lovely Liam suffer as a result of Grace's chopstick surgery? Have you ever thought about how odd it is that Bill, who is vicious, has 3 adorable sons? How did that occur? Bill's DNA is undoubtedly present in one or more of them. Perhaps Liam is fortunate to be a descendant of the old stallion due to his experiences. Liam Spencer's recuperation from brain surgery. Do you want Liam to become vicious and evil, B&B fans? Would that be more consistent with being the son of Bill? We believe it would make for a compelling and exciting plot surprise. We can envision Liam pursuing his goals in a Bill-like manner, not taking no for an answer, but this is just conjecture at this moment. He made the decision to undermine Carter Walton in order to get Hope back. He may also split up Steffy's lovely family with Finn Finnegan if he wants her. Fans of B&B, let us know what you hope to see from Liam in the coming days. According to spoilers for The Bold and the Beautiful, Liam Spencer will have a fresh start, while Ivy Forrester will make a comeback. Will these ex-partners get back together? Ashley Brewer will return for a few new B&B scenes as Ivy Forrester during the week of July 21st to 15th. Now that Liam is recovering, it would be wonderful if Ivy could get in touch with him to see how he's doing. After all, there is still a connection between Liam and Ivy because they were once lovers. Ivy was actually flinging herself at Liam and attempting to win him back at one point. Liam now has a second chance at life after surviving a gunshot wound and reportedly undergoing experimental surgery. Since everything suggests a hoax, it's unlikely that Liam ever had a brain tumor at all, but he undoubtedly believed he was dying. Liam's perspective may shift now that he is aware that he will live. Perhaps Liam should be a little more daring in seizing chances and enjoying life as it presents itself. Spending time with his girls and creating the experiences he believed he would never have is going to be Liam's top priority. Knowing that he will live to raise Kelly and Beth Spencer will be a comfort to Liam. But Liam could also want to create space in his environment for love. Liam doesn't have to remain single indefinitely, so perhaps his survival may spark the long-awaited reunion. Hope Logan is pleased with Carter Walton, at least for the time being, while Steffy Forrester is happy with John Finn Finnegan. Could Liam concentrate on Ivy and relish a new beginning with her since that his other ex-partners are taken? It would create jealousy, especially on Hope's end, but it would be a pleasant change of pace. We'll keep you informed on Hope's tumultuous thoughts and any complex news that may be on the horizon because she may still secretly wish to be with Liam. Finally, the Friday, July 18, 2025, recap of The Bold and the Beautiful is available. Liam Spencer awakens to a large reunion in today's episode. Will Spencer gets an intimate look from Katie Logan. In addition, Brooke Logan and Taylor Hayes agree. For Liam Spencer, the reunion. Liam is being cared for by the nurse at Bill Spencer's house. Bill says they're going to have company soon after they hang off the phone. John Finn Finnegan, Steffy Forrester Finnegan, and Hope Logan arrive with the intention of seeing Liam. Bill clarifies that there was not enough time to talk to them about it. He did what Grace Buckingham said they had to do right now. Bill explains that because of all the red tape in the US, everything had to be done in secret. They are still awaiting a final MRI, but they believe they have removed the entire tumor. Finn wants to read up on the stats in the process. None of that belongs to Bill. Grace sent a text message. According to the most recent MRI, the entire tumor has disappeared. Liam is overcome with emotion as Finn refers to it as a miracle. United Taylor Hayes. Rich Forrester and Taylor Forrester at Forrester Creations. When Brooke walks in, she inquires about their well-being. "How is Steffi doing?" the blonde queries. Rich said Luna Nozawa won't ever be an issue again. Despite their gratitude, they all think Liam is dying. Taylor wants to know if the trip to Italy should be cancelled. When Liam dies, Brooke worries that they will be abroad. While advising against delaying the vacation, Rich pledges to act in the family's best interests. According to Taylor, it's critical that they come together to support Steffi and Hope in supporting Kelly and Beth Spencer. Brooke is completely in agreement. Will Spencer's finding? Electra Forrester yells at Will about crazy Luna in a different office. When Katie shows up, she informs them that although Liam survived the bullet, he will still die. Will becomes upset when he considers his brother's passing. Wood is adamant that they would try anything. Electra tries to comfort Will as he begins to cry in front of his mother. Everyone is celebrating this medical miracle, so let's get back to Liam. But might there be post-event adverse effects or other issues? Everyone is happy that Liam will live after all, but Hope, Steffi, and Finn still appear perplexed. You wouldn't describe Liam as irresponsible. He was the type of person who flossed twice a day, prepared lists of pros and cons before purchasing cereal, and double-checked his oven. He had a savings account that made him happier than any night out, a cat named Reginald, and a desk job in a small, quiet accounting business. Liam was 45 when he was born, and his friends used to make jokes about it. Everyone was therefore taken aback when he vanished for 3 days and returned behaving very differently. A headache was the beginning of it all. Liam didn't drink, so it wasn't the typical or hungover kind, but something more profound. A sense of pressure, as if his thoughts were unable to get through a wall. Weeks passed throughout the time. He saw one physician, then another, and finally a neurologist. They performed the testing, the poking, and the scans. Everything appeared to be in order. However, Liam wasn't feeling well. He claimed that it felt as though there was a misalignment inside of him, a voice in his brain telling him that something needed to be adjusted. With publications on neuroplasticity, synaptic recalibration, and personality theory, he developed an obsession with brain function. People said he was becoming hypochondriac. He explained to them that he felt as though a piece of himself should have been there but wasn't. There's a gap. Something is broken. Then he met Rafe, a man. How exactly they met is unknown. Rafe wasn't the type of person you could find again after he disappeared, and Liam never mentioned it. Based on the ambiguous clues Liam eventually revealed, Rafe was something between a conspiracy theorist and a renegade neurosurgeon who thought that, with the right chords, the brain might be tuned like an instrument. He discussed instances of troops who returned from combat with enhanced cognition, as a result of field studies, abandoned Soviet techniques, and fringe research that academic institutions have banned. Liam found it fascinating. Infatuated. Thus, late on a Friday night, Liam packed a little suitcase, gave Reginald enough food for 2 days, and entered the city's dilapidated industrial area. Liam had what could be loosely defined as surgery there, in a somewhat deserted building behind a closed pawn store. He had little recollection. Not at all. He recalls something about a skull drill, saline drips, and a chair that reclined with cold metal contacting his scalp. Rafe made his own numbing agent instead of an anesthetic. He recalls Rafe whispering phrases like, "Here's the spot, and you'll thank me for this," as well as lights and the clinking of tools. Liam entered his workplace building like it was a stage when he returned on Monday morning. His new coat was made of leather rather than corduroy. He smiled sharply and walked with his shoulders back and chin up. And it wasn't the previous Liam who spoke. His colleagues were unsure whether to be scared or impressed. He made jokes. He made a move. He was somewhat convincing when he challenged his boss in a meeting. It wasn't Liam. His face was being worn by someone else. There were more changes to come. Canvases, spray paint, and a guitar that he didn't know how to play but strummed nonetheless gradually took over Liam's apartment, which was once stocked with puzzles, books on finance, and a tidy line of matching coffee mugs. He no longer arrived at work on time. Then no. He claimed to be chasing passion. He began playing on the street, joined a punk band in the area, and began penning bizarre yet exquisite poems about the universe, deterioration, and the workings of love. He dismissed his companion's attempts at conversation with a laugh. He would say, "You guys always wanted me to lighten up. You want the old robot back now that I have?" He was distinctive, but that wasn't all. He was too dissimilar. It was not as though Liam had altered his mind. Liam's mind seems to have been replaced. Now he was careless. He engaged in bar fights, swam in public fountains, and scaled rooftops. He danced barefoot in the rain and kissed strangers. He would occasionally describe how he could see colors in music, and how words felt heavier than they formerly did. The operation, he claimed, had unlocked the filters. Whatever that meant. His sister eventually submitted a wellness report. He was discovered screaming at the moon atop the public library, and the police took him in for interrogation. Psychological testing was done. Somehow he got by. He shrugged when questioned about the procedure. "It was the best choice I've ever made," he smiled. "I remained the same. I came out." People began to see fractures beneath that smile, though. Liam's emotions started to fluctuate wildly. Moments of exuberance, charm, and unstoppability are followed by moments of withdrawal, paranoia, and eyes that dart like those of a hunted animal. His words were riddles. Claimed to be able to hear other people's thoughts. Said that his image wasn't synced properly. He began carrying a notebook full of intricate computations, brain diagrams, and terms like echo loop stabilize with high gamma wave maintenance, and pathway inversion complete. It was gibberish, according to a buddy who is a neurologist. However, during a prog meeting, she saw that certain sections, the ones concerning electrode placement and cortical modulation, were uncannily similar to experimental studies she had read in classified files. Reginald disappeared. Liam put up signs, but they appeared to be more works of art than sincere efforts to locate a missing cat. Cat changed phases in the middle of the observation. It might not be Euclidean anymore. Only reacts in F minor to the name. His texts were no longer being answered. Months went by. Liam's skin became whiter and his hair grew longer. He used UV paint to create fractal patterns on the dark walls of his flat. He started giving talks in alleyways, attracting small groups of inebriated people, dreamers, and curious people. He made weird sense, according to some. He spoke, according to others, like someone who had seen too much and realized too little. A former coworker paid him a visit one evening. "He seems worn out," she said. "Physically," she clarified afterwards. "More like his mind was overworked." She inquired as to whether he had considered undoing the procedure. The look on Liam's face shifted. He said, "There's no reverse. Just go ahead. The gears will start to stare back if you look at them for a long enough time. Once you hear the ticking of infinity, you can never return to clockwork." Soon after, she departed. Then the event took place. He was giving a street talk, this time in the vicinity of an old train station. He was heckled by a man in the crowd who said that he was a fake, that nothing he was saying was true, and that he needed assistance. Liam stopped, got off his makeshift platform, and approached the man directly. According to witnesses, he said, "You're still in the cave, brother," while lightly placing his hand on the man's temple. "You're scared of the shadows." Then, without saying another word, he left. Later, the man experienced a slight seizure. Nothing was wrong, according to the doctors. After that, more people visited Liam to ask for what he had, not merely to listen. The surgery was what they desired. The change. They took him seriously. Although no two accounts about Rafe matched, some even asserted that they had met him. Then, gradually, people started to vanish. Despite opening an inquiry, police found no evidence that connected Liam to anything. Only murmurs. Only rumors. Only bizarre phone calls with static and humming, chalk inscriptions on alley walls, and unusual diagrams glued under benches. No charges were ever brought against Liam. But after a while, he also disappeared. He departed the nation, according to some. He reportedly joined a desert community. Some claim that Liam was a phony, a prototype, or a test subject, and that he never existed. At night, however, you may still come across a piece of paper fluttering on a fence post if you venture far enough into some areas of the city. Inscribed in silver pen was a message. Something along the lines of, "The awake dreamers are us. One door is the brain." Liam located the key.